Dorothy was born on March 3, 1896. Her diary begins in 1919, exactly 1 week after her 23rd birthday. A teacher living with her parents and siblings near Arcade, New York, she navigated the immediate aftermath of the Great War. As soldiers returned from the front, the community faced daunting public health crises, including the tail end of the influenza pandemic and outbreaks of scarlet fever, which led to mandatory flu vacations and widespread school closures. America was caught in a bittersweet tension between the relief of peace and the lingering shadows of disease. As the pandemics began to subside, anticipation of a new era brought hope to a weary nation.
Monday, March 10th, 1919. My 23rd birthday witnessed my resolve to keep a diary, but true to my usual proceedings, I let a little time elapse before carrying out my resolve. Now here's a hope that these diaries which I intend to keep may fulfill their purpose by leaving for the perusal of future generations records of the present brilliant one. And here's hoping that some young relative of mine, with as great a taste for delving into the everyday life of a past generation as I have, will find something of interest in these pages. Today was my first attempt at school after my enforced flu vacation. I had the appalling sum of 2 scholars. It has been a delightful spring day, part sunshine and part shadow, with a most invigorating, spicy tang to the air tonight. It sets one prancing. I had a ride with Dr. McCall tonight and called on Mrs. Lyford. Tuesday, March 11th. Today has been quite snowy and cold. Mama received half a dozen delightful birthday tulips from Linden. I called at Aunt Clara's and at Aunt Eva's. Aunt Clara thinks perhaps she had the flu. Aunt Eva presented me with a lovely crocheted yoke for a birthday gift. Wednesday, March 12th. Today has been very spring-like. I saw a red-winged blackbird and heard a song sparrow and I think a bluebird. I called again at Aunt Clara's and at Aunt Eva's and on the Hamiltons this evening. SAP has been running splendidly today. I hear that James Blush is in New York or its vicinity and Sarah Smith is expected soon. It seems lovely to have them coming back. We realize then that the war has really ceased. Thursday, March 13th, snowy and cold, clearing at night. I certainly enjoyed waiting for the milk tonight, for Leland had some new music, and I played a delightful waltz on the organ, accompanied by Leland on the violin. I hope the performance can be repeated. I am now reading a book Aunt Eva lent me, Brewster's Millions. It is a funny book, the plot based on a strange and novel situation. It is an ideal book for dramatization, and I understand, makes a successful play. Friday, March 14th, cold and cloudy, clearing in afternoon. My shoes and feather came today, and I am delighted with them. We had a lovely long letter from Dawn today. There is a rumor of scarlet fever and other diseases in Arcade. The school is closed.
As early spring arrives in New York, maple syrup season begins. Families gather sap and boil it down to create sugar or candy, a process known as sugaring off. The resulting treat is often called warm sugar. Maple sugaring is especially popular during this era as the price of granulated cane sugar is often more expensive and hard to get. Sugaring off parties are popular community events at this time. Guests often gather in the sugar house to eat the hot, thickened syrup, often served over pans of fresh snow, where it would instantly chill into a chewy, taffy-like treat known as sugar on snow, or leather apron. Dorothy's father works at a plant during the week, returning home on weekends. Dorothy is an active member of her church and involved with a prominent youth society of the era called Christian Endeavor, or CE.
March 15th, very windy and chilly, rain in afternoon. Papa was at home today. We had warm sugar. Papa, Jim, and I went after clean snow for the wax. There are 17 cases of scarlet fever in Arcade. Papa had the offer of a position in the plant as superintendent, but was obliged to refuse on account of the physical difficulty of the work. Sunday, March 16th, rainy and windy, clearing toward night. I wore my new shoes today. They are very good looking and fit me pretty well. I had charge of the church services today, reading a sermon, taught a Sunday school class after church, and led the Christian Endeavor tonight. We sugared off this afternoon. Monday, March 17th, cloudy, but very warm. This has been decidedly like April weather, April showers and all. I have now seen song sparrows, bluebirds, robins, blackbirds, and red-winged blackbirds, and have heard meadowlarks and killdeers. Aunt Eva gave me some horseradish tonight. I went to a party tonight, a St. Patrick's Day dance. I had a fine time for as long as I stayed. Lily and I came away at about 11. Tuesday, March 18th, colder, cloudy, with a slight fall of snow. A teacher's physical training meeting was held today in the school hall. It was not as strenuous as the last time, and I enjoyed it pretty well. Mr. Bowen was there and spoke on farm project work. More work for the teachers. The CE served the dinner. We cleared $10.50. I had a lovely letter from Florence today.
Physical training in 1919 was not gym class as we think of it today. It was drill-based rather than sport-based, synchronized, with the whole class moving together. It was teacher-led, with the teacher demonstrating every movement, and it focused on posture, discipline, and health, rather than athletic skill.
Wednesday, March 19th. Cool but very sunny, electric air tonight. Today was back to hard labor. It seemed queer to settle down after the dance and the meeting. I made out test papers tonight, always a strenuous job, and am dead tired. Friday, March 21st, foggy in morning, cold and snowy in afternoon. Yesterday, we heard frogs, but I guess they will be frozen up tonight. Tests are at last over, and a little haul of money makes me feel refreshed. My waist came from Perry Dame, so my $5 was not lost. I drew my pay tonight. Now for some summer clothes. Mama has some linoleum at Miller's in mind. I am so glad. I have wanted some for a long time. I am now reading At the Butterfly House, and find it splendid.
Perry Dame and Company was a New York-based mail-order clothing company, and the waist Dorothy ordered referred to an upper garment of a woman's outfit, essentially a blouse worn with a separate skirt. At the Butterfly House is a 1918 coming-of-age novel centered on a teenage girl named Carrie Dexter, whose family moves from a city to a small Vermont town after inheriting a house.
Saturday, March 22nd, beautifully clear and sunny, but very cold. Papa was at home today. We sugared off again. Papa and I went down today and got the linoleum. It is very pretty. Sunday, March 23rd, very sunny and warmer than yesterday. This morning, I took the ostrich fancy off my blue hat and put on 2 small golden yellow flowers instead. I didn't fancy the fancy. The hat was tailor-made, and the fancy was elaborate, and why should I make people think my taste is poor when it is really good? I wore the hat with much satisfaction. Mr. Hamilton preached a good sermon on the Spirit of Christ. The CE met at Mrs. Miller's tonight. I sang a solo. Monday, March 24th, warm and sunny. Tonight, Mrs. Hudson asked me over to eat warm sugar and stay to supper. Mr. Hamilton and Charlie called this evening. Tuesday, March 25th, warm and sunny. Nothing of particular note happened today. I made out my list of summer clothes tonight. Wednesday, March 26th, very warm and hazy. Mrs. Lyford called at school this morning. This afternoon I had a little difference with Andrew, which rather upset me. I stopped to play with the day children tonight and had a ride down with Mr. Buckley. I did all my spring and summer shopping tonight. By mail, of course.
To call on someone during this era means to pay them a social visit. A polite, brief social call.
Thursday, March 27th, rainy in morning, turning to snow at night. Cold. Andrew is very docile and mild today. Just an ordinary, routine day. We had a letter from Dawn. Friday, March 28th, cold and windy, clearing somewhat in afternoon. On account of the very stormy weather, I had only 3 pupils today. I guess the little difference I had with Andrew is turning out all right after all. How wonderful and beautiful it is that our wise friend and Father guides everything straight for us, if we only ask them. My small number of pupils was fortunate, for I was rather under the weather. Papa came home tonight instead of in the morning. Saturday, March 29th, cold and windy but sunny. I did nothing in particular today. Not so much as I should have done, in fact. I went to the station with Papa tonight and saw Mrs. Armstrong and Mina in the station. Brown walked down with me and told me I was his ideal. Sunday, March 30th, cool but sunny. I taught a Sunday school class today. We had a fine meeting tonight. Mrs. Seeley led. Blanche, who started our society 25 years ago, was there. The girls had some special music. Altogether, it was a splendid meeting. Monday, March 31st, cold, windy, and snowy. March came in and went out like a lion. That is not fair to the old tradition. I had a letter from Dawn today about living in a YW house this summer at Syracuse. I feel as if I should like the plan very much. I developed a dandy scheme for being sure of my $100 this summer.
Join us as we turn the page to April 1919 in the next chapter of Dorothy's diary. If you would like to hear more of Dorothy's story as well as the stories of others, a simple like goes a long way. To ensure you don't miss the upcoming episodes, do subscribe and enable alerts. We'll see you next time as we share these cherished tablets of the heart. Thank you for watching.